Hello and welcome to FX Addicts Weekly Market Analysis. Today is Friday, August 24th, 2012, and this is Tim, the Currency Professor. Well, we've had kind of a decent week today. We actually got some movement out of the euro this week, and we actually progressed a little higher, which is unusual because we've had such downward momentum here, but really was in need of a correction. So the last 3 days we rallied up here a couple of hundred points, and now today we have backed off a little bit. Currently we're down about 30 pips. We made the high yesterday for the move, and we have since backed off. So we're pushing up now against this upper trend line here, and we've had a pretty decent correction. So the next move now we'll bounce around here for a little bit and then go down. If we look on the weeklies here, you can see how we've broken above the channel line here, and we're still not quite significantly above it, so the risk is that we'll fall back down, and fundamentally too, there's a lot of news out there we would just end up coming right back down on. So next week maybe we trade around in a tight range, or we come right back down. In either event, we'll probably be back underneath this channel sometime next week or the following week. Now we can see how we bumped up above it before here and came right back down. So really anticipate that same thing happening here as well. There really isn't anything good out there fundamentally, and technically we're still well locked into this channel. And on a monthly basis, well, we still got another solid week of trading available here for the week, or for the month rather. So a lot can still happen. It would need to close above the last 2 months to spark a turnaround. Really don't see that happening. There really isn't enough momentum here. It's more or less a correction and short covering that's formed this rally here the last few days. British pound, if we look at the British pound here, we can see that today we're down 37 pips. Yesterday we were down also. We got a little bit of a kind of a pattern here going where it could signal some bearish sell-off for us. It looks like we'll probably go down and quite possibly large on Monday session. So we'll see what happens, but technically it does not look very good right here on the dailies. And if we look on the weeklies, we did finally break above this area where we've been for the last several months. We are closing above it, so that's a positive sign. However, we're doing it on somewhat of a lower note for the week. In other words, we went up and made the highs here a couple of days ago, and now we're closing down above those highs. So I'm sorry, below those highs. So it's not really looking great. It more looks like we ran up, hit stops, and came down. So we'll have to see how next week's action looks. But more than likely what will happen is next week we'll sell off. We've had 3 up weeks now, and not much of up weeks, but nonetheless they've been up weeks. And the pattern has been about 2 to 3 up weeks, and then we sell off. So really looking for next week to be a sell-off. On the monthlies, well, we are above the last 2 months high, so that is positive. However, we're not significantly above, and we're not really rallying strongly here at all. Again, it looks more like short covering than anything. So probably just some profit taking, and then a new wave of selling will come in. Now we need to close well below this this trend line, which will put us down around 153, 152.50. So if we can close the month out below that, that would be bearish. I doubt we're going to do it for August, but there's a possibility going into September that we sell off and we come down and close the month of September below that, and that would be bearish. U.S. dollar against the Swiss franc, selling off. Oops, let's look at the dailies here. Selling off for the week. Today up a little bit, and we got a little bit of a positive pattern going here today. Down for the week, well, for the day we're up 23 pips. For the week we're down about 150 pips. So quite a bit of a sell-off, but really a necessary correction. I mean, we really rallied up quite a bit, and we really need to like blow out this little correction that we've had, and I think this was it. If we look on the weeklies here, we can see, well, first on the dailies we can see how the stochastics are turning up, and then we look at the weeklies here and we can see how we've got this nice upward pattern, then down, up and down a little bit, up again making new highs, and then we've come down now. So really looks like this will probably be the extent of the downward move, and we can settle in here maybe for a week or two and then start to rally back up again. And on the monthlies, well, it looks like this month will probably end the month negative. That is about a week left here, so as we get into next week we'll see, but probably will end the week negative, or the month negative, and then we'll probably go up the following month in September. Now we need to close above these highs for the last 2 months to really start the rally up again, and then we need to get well above this trend line, which is now about just a little over 100 or par. So if we can get above that next month and close significantly above that next month, it really will spark a very, very strong upward move for us. On the U.S. dollar against the Japanese yen, well, we're up a little bit today after an extreme sell-off on Wednesday. Really the biggest sell-off that we've seen in there in several months. So really looks like we're going to form a bottom here. We came down, we pointed it here, and we rallied up above this minor trend line, and now we've drawn another trend line in here. We fell back down, we consolidated here for a couple of weeks, then we rocketed back up above it here last week, and now this week we've come right back down. We're kind of testing that, but we're right back down into this area that we've been in here. So it looks like this is becoming some pretty good support, and with this very big sell-off day, really could spark a little bit of a turnaround here, and quite possibly going up to new highs. So we could bounce up here for another day and then sell off again, get back down into this area, the 77.50 to 78 area, and then probably rocket back up. So we got a little bit more consolidation coming, but it looks like we're probably finding a bottom here. And we look here on the weeklies, we can see that also. At some point here we'll probably trade out in smaller ranges on the weeklies, and then we'll rally up. And we look here on the monthlies, we can see that we got quite a nice pattern forming here. We fell down, of course, into this descending triangle, broke up above it strongly. We've come back down now, we've tested it. We've been in the same range here now for the last 3 months, 4 months. So looks really good longer term. We're really turning around. We can see it here in the stochastics how we're starting to turn it around. So really looks good longer term. Euro against the Swiss still hanging out in that 120.10 area. Doesn't look like it's going to move at all this week. There was really no movement in there at all compared to some other weeks where we did bounce up a little bit. Euro against the yen, well, we're moving up quite nicely in here. It did start a little bit of an uptrend here back about 2-3 weeks ago, and it looks like we're starting to run out of steam here now. Right now today we're down 2 pips on the day, or up 2 pips depending on your quote service. We look at the weeklies, we can see how we have kind of formed a little bit of a rounded bottom here, so there is a possibility we could work our way higher, but I think we're going to get capped here around the 100 area. And let me show you on the monthlies here if we can pull up here. Let's see, right about in here, these highs, just about 101, 101.50. Really don't expect that to get breached at all this month, and certainly not next month, especially if we closed in this area this month. It would be very difficult for us to rally up above that next month. So trend still down longer term. Shorter term we've had a nice upward move, but longer term it looks like we're going to turn over now in the short term as well. So we're still looking for it to get down here in this upper 80s, lower 90s area. Probably will do it here sometime soon. Once we get down in there, if we can form a bottom, then longer term we'll certainly move up. But it's going to take an awful lot for this market to turn around. That consolidation down there, once we get down to the upper 80s to lower 90s, is going to have to take a while, because this whole big move here really was a lot of damage to the market. So it's going to take a lot for us to really bottom out here. It's not going to be like back here where we spiked down and came running back up. This is going to have to trade around down at this bottom area for quite a while. So we'll see when we get there, but technically long term still looks bearish. And then we look on this daily, and it's probably run its course here on the dailies, and we can start to fall off again. So that is it for this week's edition. If you have questions or anything, feel free to contact me. I will be back in next week into the trade room for about an hour or so a day, and then after the beginning of September, we'll be back in there probably a couple hours a day. So taking a hiatus this last few weeks to work on a book, so that is coming to a conclusion here, and next week we'll ease back into things, and then after September 1st we'll be full force back into trading. So feel free to get a hold of me. Love to talk to you. Thanks for joining. Bye.